Today marks the day of the insurrection. Ladies and gentlemen, January 6th, we got this clip. We're going to check it out. Let's roll.
This was the scene 3 years ago today when a violent mob instigated by a president who lost the 2020 election steps of the Capitol and desecrated its hallowed halls. Theirs was a failed attempt to overturn the results of a free and fair election. A failed attempt to disrupt a sacred tradition that has made American democracy a model for the world for 248 years, the peaceful transfer of power. January 6, 2021 marked a new beginning, a new fight in safeguarding the American experiment. I'm Jonathan Capehart. This is The Saturday Show. And here we are, 3 years after the insurrection, and we're still living with the consequences of that day, the persistent threats to our democracy. With Republican voters casting their first presidential primary ballots this month, and with Donald Trump continuing to hold a commanding lead, even expanding lead in the polls, we're faced with the startling possibility that the man impeached for inciting the rioters on January 6th could be elected again. The man who claimed the insurrectionists had love in their hearts, who referred to January 6th as a beautiful day.
It's interesting, though, because I seen a clip of Alex Jones even telling the crowd to behave. They took out Trump on Twitter, right when he made the tweet saying to go home and to behave as well. And we'll continue with this propaganda, with this news clip.
And who vowed to pardon the rioters criminally charged in connection with the violence, people he now calls hostages. Yesterday, in his first campaign speech of 2024, President Biden issued a warning about what's at stake.
Trump began his 2024 campaign by glorifying the failed violent insurrection on our Capitol. The guy who claims law and order sows lawlessness and disorder. Trump's not concerned about your future, I promise you. Trump is now promising a full-scale campaign of revenge and retribution, his words. This is the first national election since January 6th. Insurrection placed a dagger at the throat of American democracy since that moment. We all know who Donald Trump is. The question we have to answer is, who are we?
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Biden gives me, just creep vibes, y'all. Like, this fool looks like a straight up dictator. This guy looks like something out of 1984 with this weird, any other president would look, great with this backdrop and this, scene, I would say here, but not Biden. This guy is a creep. Let's continue.
The president is right. And the answer to that question from some in the Republican Party is frightening. According to a new Washington Post University of Maryland poll, Republicans are now less likely to believe that insurrectionists were mostly violent and less likely to believe Trump bears responsibility than they were in 2021.
Okay, let's continue. This is what I wanted to watch, though, where this guy starts crying, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to react to it live here on this reaction, but where's it at here? Let's get this amazing man over here.
Joining me now in studio is Michael Fanone, former D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer, Courage for America Council member, and author of Hold the Line, The Insurrection and One Cop's Battle for America's Soul. Officer Fanone, I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this third anniversary.
He's all, oh, that was awkward. He's like, Dad, calm down, bro. It ain't that serious. This dude's basically almost crying like a weenie on national television, y'all, putting them crocodile tears. And this guy don't even know how to react over here, y'all. That was very awkward as hell. But in the comments on this video on YouTube, they're just praising these two, y'all. They're eating this up, y'all, the MSNBC YouTube watchers.
We are still in the midst of the same fight that began on January 6th, 2021.
This reminds me of just some straight up propaganda, y'all. Straight up.
And we have a lot at stake in this country. And I think that it deserves every American's attention.
You know, Donald.
So hold on. So is that the whole point of this? You know, this hit piece to get people riled up to vote against Trump due to, I guess, this day? Which, to be honest, y'all, I've said it before. I don't think this made us look good whatsoever when this happened. You know, I have some friends that were there this day and you know, getting footage. I better be careful what I say here, but I digress, y'all. They've already have, you know, handled that, should I say, and I'll leave it there. But I'm just saying, y'all, this day wasn't a good look in my opinion. And there's all kinds of conspiracies, they say, and there's all kinds of, you know, who really did it, this, that, and the third. I'm not going to say, you know, too much here on YouTube, but you already know the rest, okay? But again, are they going to use this day to try to get Biden back in there? I believe so. How about you quit bringing this up and start focusing on the things that really matter today? The economy, fuel prices, the Bidenomics, the America we're living in 2024. Let's go.
Trump continues to defend the insurrectionists, as he did at a rally in Iowa last night. Listen to this.
Those J6 hostages going to jail for 20 years and 18 years and 12 doctors, lawyers, carpenters, electricians, truck drivers. It's one of the saddest things. It'll go down as one of the saddest things in the history of our country. And they went there to protest a rigged election.
Officer Note, how damaging is it for Trump to label those violent rioters who were criminally charged and convicted as hostages? The man who attacked you with that stun gun was sentenced to more than 12 years in prison.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, you got to think about those individuals that received those lengthy sentences. They did so because, A, they engaged in an insurrection, but their actions that day were violent, and that violence, excuse me, was directed towards law enforcement officers. And so, you know, I think it's clear that they deserve the sentences that they received. But by Donald Trump referring to them as hostages, and speaking about them sympathetically, he's lending his authority as the former president to their actions. And he's telling Americans, his supporters, that I'm going to continue to support you and I'll do everything I can. And if I become president, I'll even pardon you if you can commit acts of violence on my behalf.
What's your response to Republicans, particularly those Republicans who responded to the Washington Post University of Maryland poll, who are growing more sympathetic to the insurrectionists?
Man, I can't stand this dude, y'all. I cannot stand this man.
I don't know what to say to them, and quite frankly, I don't think there is anything to say. They've made their decision. You know, we're 3 years out from the January 6th insurrection.
And that's enough, y'all. That's all I can stomach of this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut to the chase here. When you go vote in this upcoming election, you decide who you want to vote for. And I would hope you would base this on your current situation and predicament. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2024, I have actually, you know, made a decision to really tighten up my bootstraps and even my financial situation, because we are in dire straits. We are in a predicament that I don't think this country has seen before. I'm not pushing any kind of fear mongering or anything of the such, but I just know in my household, I'm doing worse financially and probably emotionally and not even physically, but emotionally, you know, with this current administration, the way we are now compared to when we had Trump in office. Let's be honest, y'all. When Trump was in there, yeah, they were attacking him every day. It's messed up, right? But we were standing for Trump. But I'm telling you right now, it was like more joy in the world. I was more at peace and more happy. And now in 2024, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. You got all these wars popping off. You got Biden in there, you know, making a fool of the presidency. And now they want to use this, you know, day, of course, to slam Trump and, you know, prospect for Biden voters. Again, you decide on who you're going to vote for based on your situation. I would hope you would take Trump and Biden, these two different presidencies, right, polarizing as they are, and decide who fit your situation the best. I already know, y'all. When it was under Trump, there was more money, and much more of a nicer situation for me and my family. Under Biden, y'all, I kid you not, I basically got to tell my kids and my wife, we just got to, tighten everything up and just, keep my head down, go to work, make my money, and stack it up, rack it up, come home, don't trust nobody. You never know what could happen. The movie Left Behind, basically, who knows? So with that, y'all, just do the quick reaction. I didn't want to watch too much of this video, but the dude just starts crying like a weenie, with the alligator crocodile tears. And there's this supposed policeman, giving his account, selling a book and whatnot, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments, everybody. Again, wild times under Biden. It sucks. We'll see what happens if Trump will even, make it to be president again. We hope so. And again, I'm a Trumper through and through. But to be honest, as you could tell on the channel, I've kind of strayed away from politics because, to be honest, y'all, I got my own problems in my own backyard, locally here in my city, right? And I think that we should really focus on our local situations. Who's your mayor? Who's your county commissioner? Who's the head of your the school district, right? Who's your councilman in your city? I think if anything, y'all, Trump really showed a lot of us what really matters as far as this political realm and spectrum. Because yeah, national politics is one thing, but do you realize your own backyard has problems? There's weirdos trying to read certain kind of things to your children, to the children in the schools and libraries in your own city. It's happening here in my city, basically, y'all. So again, I digress. I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. You don't need America, y'all. On Instagram, we let it fly. But on YouTube, we have to be more, clean here, for lack of better words. And with that, y'all, thanks for watching. I'm out. You're an American. You're a patriot. You got grit. Act like it.